Let me bring it back on.
How's everyone doing? Did you guys get a chance to take a crack at this? James, was it too easy? James, let me know. Too easy, I'm hearing. All right, so we got 10 problems. Let's see if we can explain everything in an hour. How about that? So parallel pipette, we have a shape. We need 3 vectors, all coming from this point right here, I'll say. AB, AC, AD. So let's make them. AB is B minus A, 2 minus 1, -3 minus -1, 0 minus 2. And I'll clean those up in a second. AC is -1 minus 1, -2 minus -1, and again 0 minus 2. And AD, we've got 2 minus 1. We've got 1 minus -1. And I've got -1 minus 2. So I'm going to make my matrix right here. 2 minus 1 is 1. -3 plus 1 is -2. 0 minus 2 is -2. We got -2. We've got -1. We've got -2 again. And 1, 2, and -3. All right. Cross product. I've got 1. I'm going across the top row. Minus -2 plus -2 times those. Let me fill them in. The 1 has -1 times -3 is 3 minus -4. I do that one. I've got -2 times -3 is 6 minus -2. And finally, we've got -4 minus -1. All right, so what do we got? 3 minus -4 is 7. So I've got 1 times 7 plus 2 times 8 minus 2 times -5. Nope, -3.
No, wait, that's -3, yeah.
So I've got 7 plus 16 plus 6. 13 and 16 is 29. We're doing volume, so this would be cubic units. Bam. All right, not bad.
Got a
4
question?
minutes on that one.
Yeah. On the exam, we need to specify cubic units.
I have already printed it up and it doesn't say that. I did not type it in. You're going to have to remember that volume requires units. Maybe I'll remind you in class. Maybe. I don't know. Some people on Discord were trying to say I was nice last night, so I need to shut that shit down. All right, so number 2 was decompose a vector V into 2 orthogonal vectors. A vector in the direction of B. We need to do V equals the projection of V onto B plus the orthogonal projection. They really need a word for it. So let's find the projection onto B first. So projections are, we're going to do the dot product over the magnitude of B squared, and then we do it in the direction of B. So what's the magnitude of V? We need some things here. Magnitude of V is 2 squared plus 5 squared plus -3 squared. 4, 25, and 9 is 38. So square root of 38. Magnitude of B. 1 squared plus 2 squared plus -6 squared. I got 1, 4, and 36 is 41. All right, so what do we got here? B dot B is 2 times 1. Oops. Plus 5 times 2. Plus -3 times -6. And on the bottom, I have my square root of 38 and my square root of 41. Why do I need V? Nope, I just have 41. I did not need the magnitude of V. That was all wasted effort. And then I need it in the direction of B. So let's clean it up. My projection of B or V onto B. I've got 2 plus 10 is 12 plus 18 is 30. I've got 30 over 41, 1, 2, -6, which is 30 over 41, 60 over 41, and -180 over 41. Now I think the easiest thing to do is find ortho by doing B minus projection.
Did you have a question? No, I'm just sitting up here because I can't see.
So let's do that. I've got, I can stack it up. Let's get a common denominator. If I do this as a base of 41, I've got 82 on top. 41 times 5 is 205 over 41. So 82 over 41, 205 over 41, and -3 times 41 is -123. And I'm subtracting. 82 minus 30 is 52. 205 minus 60 is 145. And -123 minus -180 . 57. And there we go. That's the ortho projection. So my task was to write B in terms of those two. V equals 2, 5, -3, which equals, I could do the 30 over 41, 60 over 41, -180 over 41, plus 52 over 41, 145 over 41, and 57 over 41. I don't know that I like that. I would probably write this, if I were to use this in person, I would do the 30 over 41 on the outside and go back to the 1, 2, and -6 here. And then maybe write the 1 over 41 here and do 52, 145, and 57. But either of those would work. So that's chopping up B into 2 orthogonal vectors. I know when we did the example in class, when I said, oh, I did it the long way in the video, the long way in the video made a very, very huge assumption that isn't always true. The assumption was that B was the same as the projection of B onto B. And it only worked on that one problem, and it happened to be the way I set it up. So what we did in class, after 11.3C or something like that, wasn't very good. Any questions on that one? And I'll scan this stuff and put it up online. Let's do our sketch. So what can we do here? Let's see. If I look at just Z and X, I've got parabolas. In ZX, and the same with ZY. And XY, X squared plus Y squared is circle. So circle in the XY plane. Another thing I can note is that since the right side is always positive, the left side always has to be, or non-negative, I should say. The left side has to be non-negative. So Z is greater than or equal to 0. So I know if I do like up 4 and over 2, I should have some points like this. If I just look at the parabola in the ZY plane. So on these, X is 0, this is 0, 1, 1. This is 0, 2, 4. 0, negative 2, 4, and 0, negative 1, 1. And I know I've got a circle in the XY plane, so maybe I'll sketch the circle around the top. And we'll make our parabola. And I got, you know, this side, the x-axis is coming down. I think if I want to make it look like what it really should is, I know this is making a cut, basically. So maybe I'll just shade in like this and make it look like a dish. Probably make that circle a little bit better, but I think that's pretty good. Might throw in this point right here. That point was 1, 0, 1. And maybe I could do the backside point over here. This was negative 2, 0, 4. That's
Mr.
labeled. Yeah.
So in the problem so obviously like I understand the sketching portion, but when you want us to do a label, are you saying like label the points that we're identifying, or what do you mean?
I'm doing it. I labeled a couple points on the thing. That point's there, this point's on the side, this point's right here, that point's right there. I'm like identifying what the points are, because you can't see, it's hard to see where the 3T space is.
Right.
That's what I mean by labeling.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right. It's not the test problem isn't much more complicated than that. Cylindrical to spherical, quick recap, x squared plus y squared is r squared. We got z equals rho cosine phi, and x is, it's either r cosine theta or it's rho sine phi cosine theta.
Yeah, that's right.
And y is r sine theta, rho sine on both. And rho squared
Oh, that
is,
should be sine theta, sine phi sine
Right.
theta.
You're right. I put it twice. My bad. So let me just copy down the equation again. I got z equals x squared plus y squared. If I wanted to go cylindrical, I need R, theta, and Z. And spherical is rho, phi, and theta. They might do them in the opposite order.
Yeah, they usually
Yeah,
use data.
I think so.
So I didn't use data because I use like I use identity.
That way theta stays in the same spot.
Data sign for data equal one.
Cylindrical looks like it's pretty easy. If I just want to end up with R, thetas, and Z's, this is R squared.
With the R squared factor out.
Am I missing? I hear someone talking. Am I missing something?
This looks good.
If you don't.
Okay. All right, spherical. Do we want to just there? We got a couple options here. I could plug in the spherical versions of X and Y and Z and be done with it. I think this is going to get messy. I think I'm going to take advantage of this by maybe adding Z squared to both sides. Because then I can make the right side rho squared. The left side is rho squared cosine phi squared plus rho cosine phi. Maybe I could reduce. I got an extra row on each side. So rho cosine squared phi plus cosine phi equals rho. I could probably write rho in terms of, now I've got it there. It's all there. I think if I wanted to make it cleaner, I'd get all my rows on the same side. So let's subtract this over. Factor out a row.
You can turn that into sine squared.
Then that is sine squared phi. That would make it even cleaner. I'm going to divide by that. I got cosine phi over sine squared phi. Which I could write, I can leave as that, or if I wanted to, I could say that's cotangent cosecant.
Mhm.
So that's probably the cleanest way. And there's cylindrical. Knowing when you're doing the test, at least get it to the spherical coordinates first. Then do the rest of the test, and then maybe go back and try to make spherical look prettier.
One.
Oh, really?
I mean, I guess I looked in the textbook and it would, that's if you assume p is not equal to 0. Then that would be if you could like simplify.
Yeah.
it.
Oh, because did you cancel all the rows?
Yeah, that row.
Okay, yeah, that something really dangerous in the math going forward is canceling out variables. If you do that, you could, because I remember this from last semester. There's a lot, some dangerous elements in canceling variables when you're doing when you're working with variables.
You're right.
Yeah.
What variable did I cancel though?
Well, no,
I
he was
canceled a
talking about
row, right?
Yeah, he was talking about how he got a very different answer because he in the process he was canceling out row.
I canceled out a row too. There's a lot of ways to get different answers. Everyone's probably going to have a unique answer. You know, there's only going to be a certain. There's not just one way to do this. Like you don't even need to add the z squared. I could have done z and x squared plus y squared, and had sine phi, cosine theta, sine phi, sine theta throughout it. By canceling out a row, though, we are making the assumption that row is not 0 because we don't want it. Because what I did is divided by a row, and so we can't divide by 0. That's the only problem. But is that a good assumption? Is that a safe assumption for a coordinate system like this? If I'm trying to sketch it.
Well, that also means that you're you're doing the assumption that there's no point at the origin.
I'm making the assumption. Well, we could fill that in. But we're saying that there's no radius on any of this spherical stuff. Which,
Mhm.
so if rho equals 0, we just have a singular point. I don't even have a graph anymore. Theta and phi are irrelevant if rho equals 0.
Yeah, it's a
but
it's a
yeah,
minor thing for now, but
it's
it
just
can,
the origin point. It is worth noting.
yeah.
So rho does not equal 0 or include origin. Like we know it has the origin. The origin's right there. We have it. We know it's in the problem.
It's at the very least worth noting that unless you can assume that a variable is not equal to 0, you shouldn't try to do that all the time.
Right.
Do something like
I assumed that a Calc3 student knew that. And that's why I didn't bring it up.
well, I didn't
Any questions?
know
Any other
Calc3.
questions on that? I'm trying to get through these. That's why I'm trying to go
Yeah.
faster.
That's fine.
Number 5, let's find the plane. Find the plane, we need the normal to the plane. So if I need the normal, I can find the normal doing a cross product. Let's do AB and AC. You could have chosen different ones. I'm choosing these just because that's how I roll. So I've got -1 minus 2 is -3. 6 minus -3 is 0. And 4 minus 1 is 3. Did I write down the problem right? That's a -4. I did not write down the problem right. This should be -8. Or negative, let's see. -4
That's
minus -1 is -5. And then AC, 7 minus 2 is 5. -10 minus -3 is 7. And 4 minus 1 is 3. Damn, -7. I said negative.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So -3, 9, and -5. Let me just double check. Confirmed. 7 minus 2, -10 minus -3, and 4 minus 1. All right. Those look good to me.
Mhm.
All right. So we got 27. 9 times 3 is 27 minus 35. I've got -9 minus -15 is plus 15. And I've got 21 minus 45. So my vector is -8.
Wait, are you sure that's 15, not 25? For the J?
Yeah, I fixed it. Thank you. Yeah, going too fast. This is why you don't race on a test. Make this a learning lecture. 21 minus 45 is, what is that? 45 and -24?
That's a negative. Yeah, -24 sounds right.
Yeah, look at that. They're all factors of -8. That's my N.
Well, that's
So
not I didn't know you got it right. Getting such a simple answer
you
there.
can't, you do not make assumptions like that on the test. I pick points randomly when I'm doing shit. So you might get, we just had that 30/41. Yeah, you can expect shit like that on the test. Just because it looks ugly doesn't mean it's wrong. I got my N. I need to do N dotted with P not P. So I'll use A. I'll do X minus 2, Y plus 3, and Z minus 1. And I'm dotting that with my A, I'm gonna use this version. 1, 2, 3. I could put the -8 there if I want. I know this should equal 0 for the dot product. Dividing by the -8 just makes it go away right now, so I don't even need it. So I've got 1 times x minus 2
That's basically the same problem with the last. one.
plus 2 times y plus 3 plus 3 times z minus 1 equals 0. If you did it with the -8s in there, it's still going to be correct. It's just your math is going to make it be harder to do. X minus 2 plus 2y plus 6 plus 3z minus 3 equals 0. I'll gather like terms. Now let's see, I've got 6 minus 3 is 3 minus 2 is 1.
It's not that there's no error.
In the test, we're only gonna have to do it once, right?
What do you mean only do it once?
Like we don't have to do it with B and C, only with A or
Yeah,
B.
yeah, just pick one point.
All right, thank you.
Give it a square. Wait, what? I've been doing it this way the whole time.
Yes, you got a question?
Why did you
They
make
said you
it
can only use one, you don't want to use two.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
What's that?
Repeat that?
Why did we get rid of the big?
Oh, because even if you add it in, it's still, you can, it can, you.
All of these would be -8 larger. I mean, I could have -8 here, -16 here, -24 here. It makes all your math harder to do. And if you recognize it, it factors out. Notice I have an equation here equal to 0. I just divide both sides by -8 and it goes away. I don't need it. The right side is still 0. So the negative, the multiplier on n, that's what it is. It's a scalar multiplier on n. I mean, we could use this vector, but this is the vector in the same direction, but with a shorter magnitude. So that's the n with the 1, 2, 3. And oh shit, maybe I should do it up here. That's my n, and then this was the n I made. That's the -8, -16, -24. So they're going in the same direction, same line. Just working with the smaller numbers makes this step easier. If you don't do it, that's fine. If you don't recognize it, that's fine. I think I'm more likely to fuck things up with that -8 in there, and so I took it out. All right, so find the distance between that plane and this point.
That means if you get one of them wrong, you're gonna get them all wrong.
What, for what?
For this exam.
Oh, because they're all kind of
If
connected.
they're all connected, then if I get one wrong, they're all wrong.
What do you mean
Well,
they're all
then-
connected?
You
Well,
said you
there's-
used the plane from the previous problem, so if I get the previous problem.
You're
wrong,
right.
I'm gonna get.
But if you get this plane wrong and you do everything in part 6 with your wrong plane correctly, I'm going to give you full credit. It just makes it harder for me to grade because I got to go through and look at exactly what you did a little bit more closely. I'm not, I give partial credit, and if you've got no mistakes in part 6, you're going to get full credit, even if you used something that was wrong in the first place. Because I told you to use your answer right here. So whatever your answer is right here, that should work here. Unless you tell me like it's x plus y, like you completely bypass, well, I guess you could. You could, like, if you don't remember how to find the plane, you're like, let me just make up a plane x plus y plus z equals 0. So I can use it in 6. It would work, but you would be missing all the points on 5. The point is, I'm not, if I grade on partial credit and if you do everything correctly, like if I screwed up, I had -15 up here. Brandon caught me on doing it wrong. I would have, if that was my only mistake and everything else, that using the -15 correctly was all right all the way down here, and I got the wrong answer here just because of that single, and let's face it, that was 5 times 5 that I fucked up. I didn't fuck up a calculus step. I rushed through an arithmetic step. You're losing what, a half a point for doing a basic multiplication thing wrong out of 10 points? And then if whatever this answer is, like when I did this yesterday, my answer using the 15, I ended up with 4x plus 3y plus 12z minus 11 equals 0. And I did my entire problem D using that, or problem 6 using that. If you did this correctly using that, you're going to get full credit, even if that's wrong. But I'm going to scan this, so I don't want that in there.
Mr. Jones for best Calc 3 teacher.
I'm your only Calc 3 teacher, aren't I?
I think you would prefer teacher of the year instead.
I think someone's trying to get an F early. Don't go spreading rumors like that. All right, so I got this plane here. Let's get this done. That's my AX plus BY plus CZ plus D. I can use that distance formula we had, which came from the n dotted with the projection, or making the projection. It was the projection. Remember, this was AX plus BY plus CZ plus D over the magnitude of n, which was a squared plus b squared plus c squared. This is my XYZ. Here is my A, my B, my C, my D. So D equals magnitude or absolute value. I'm going to plug in these values. 1 times 1 is 1. I'll just make sure I do it right. Plus 2 times 2. Plus 3 times negative 3. And then my denominator is 1 squared plus 2 squared plus 3 squared. I've got 1 plus 4 minus 9, absolute value, over 1, 4, and 9 is square root of 14. So I've got 5 minus 9, this is negative 4. Absolute value makes it 4 over root 14 units.
Mr. Jones.
It's
What happens to the
odds
to
that,
the
because it
plus?
turns into 5 minus 9. But the absolute value turns into a positive 4.
What happens to the plus 1? That's in the
Oh, good catch. I
Yeah.
fucked up. I'll put the plus 1 there. So that really makes it negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3. That should be a 3. Good catch.
Okay. Yeah, I was just I got confused. Like, wait, do we not use that because there's not a D term in the denominator? But okay.
Nope, I done fucked up.
All right.
And it's always fun when I do make the test, like I make the answer key. And I deliberately don't look at, like, I do like one of the later pages first. So I don't know whose tests I'm grading at the time. And like, I'll get like 2 people in a row get the same wrong answer. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? And then I'm like, oh, wait. 2. And then the third student gets it right. And I have the wrong answer. I have to go through and look at my work. So don't worry about that. All right. Find the angle AB, and AC, between AB and AC. So let's just get to making those.
Oh, I love this problem.
First, and that way you can use that as like the benchmark. Yeah,
Wait, grade 2 is first?
James.
Oh my
Just
god.
grade James first, and then you can use that as the answer key.
I think you're giving undue credit to James. While he's a great student, you're assuming because he's the son of a math professor that he's a math genius. I bet he avoided math books for a long time. I'm not arguing James is probably smart. I don't know. I've never found. I'll find out. And, But what you have going for you, James, is I can't tell your father what you get either way. Student confidentiality.
That a thing?
Is that
So
a-
you could let down your father and he would never know it.
Is that an actual?
That's the thing. It is I cannot talk to your parents.
Really?
I cannot talk to anyone about your grades but you. I've had angry parents call me asking why I failed their students. I'm like, I can't talk to you about your student's grade, your daughter or son's grade. But then I hang up the phone going, but your student never did any fucking homework, so of course they failed. But the parents don't see that. They just hear they're angry. I got an F. Why did I get an F? Well, because you didn't do any fucking work.
Let him know, Mr. Jones. Let him know.
I can't tell the parents, and I'm not going to go off on a student like that. But I will encourage them. I will give words of reassurance. Like I'm sure Lawrence is going to let me down on this test. I'm going to have to say, look, bro, if you watch the videos before class, you'd understand more when you came to class. And Lawrence, you got that for throwing James under the bus. And now I'm trying to do math while talking, and I'm probably fucking this up.
I'm sorry, I haven't been paying attention. You
That's
might,
what I got.
you kind of on your own this one. Let's see,
That's
that's
what I constantly probably going.
one, that's -4.
No, so I guess roll on.
Okay, it looks good as long as you put the numbers in right.
So I need the norm.
AB and AC.
64, 1, and 16. What is that? 70, 81? Square root of 81?
It's 64, 1, 65.
Always. Doesn't matter which one you use.
16. Yeah, that sounds like 81.
Or if you use the first one.
Yeah, it's 81.
Twenty-five, 16, and 4. 16 and 4 is 20. 20 and 25 is 45. That's the same as 3 root 5. And so what do we need? We're doing cosine theta equals
The dot product.
AB dotted with AC over magnitude AB magnitude AC. So theta equals cosine inverse of that. AB dotted with AC, -8 times -5 is 40, plus 1 times 4, plus -4 times 2 is -8. And on the bottom, I've got 9 times 3 root 5. 44 minus 8 is 36. Over 27 root 5.
Need to remember this. That's all you need.
You could take divisible by 9, so that's 4 over 3 root 5.
But at this point, I gotta do calculator work anyways, because it asks for
Yeah.
to the nearest degree.
It's a cube, so it's.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this real quick. Just write a mid step. I strongly recommend doing this because that way, if you fuck up along the way and you have mid steps, I know where you messed up. Cosine inverse of answer is, I'm getting approximately 53.39. So the answer rounded to the nearest degree would be 54 degrees.
Oh, you brought
Oh,
it up.
that's the rounding to the nearest degree is on the other problem. What you picked to round to here is up to you. Actually, that's even rounded wrong. Next one's 5.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
maybe I would say approximately 53.4 degrees.
Does he just know 0.59? Isn't that like I over do them? That's in radians.
That's not in radians set. That 0.5962284. That's just the decimal that you got from the 4/3 √5.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
he put the inverse. and I don't know.
This value
What
is
is the-
not this.
not degree?
The degrees are over here. It's not a
Yeah.
degree until I do cosine inverse.
I was like, what?
I don't know a single person who can literally do cosine inverse of a complicated decimal in their head. Do you, Mr. Jones? You know
Nope.
such a math genius?
Nope.
I
That
think
would
I've heard like,
require you to have all the tables memorized.
I think even like the human calculator that was sent to the moon just memorized like natural logs and such.
They do like 50 years ago when they had to do that.
Yeah.
All right, we got
Well,
3 problems. here.
memorize them, not actually get them.
These are 2 planes. I want the angle
They just
between
get, like,
them.
that.
Well, that one's also.
Because I doubt there's a
That
table
one's-
that has
well, actually, that
0.9677, like all
one's-
those.
That one's also approximate because they can't go to the, there's a certain amount of digits.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
And the recalculator is actually slightly different, so it'll calculate slightly differently.
Might be more, right? Closer to the real level.
So I need the magnitude of this one.
Or almost like close to any approach.
I don't know. I don't know.
Or it just keeps creating like creates a bunch of them. It's such a big number that they just say that it's the closest. It's also not as big.
I think that's 80. I think. Oh,
What?
go ahead. No. 4, 15. Yeah, you're right.
Wait. 81, 9. Oh, that's 49. Oh, yeah. It's 81, 64, 16. Let's see.
But when you do the experiments.
18, 24, and -36. These two are -12. 18 is giving me a
Two normal to each.
6 on top.
6. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. I was double checking everything, making sure I had it right.
It's just rewriting the factors.
So 94 times 161. Take the square root of that answer. Divide 6 by that answer. And I'm getting theta equals cosine inverse of 0.04877. This looks like it's going to be cosine of 0 would be 90 degrees. This is close to 90 degrees.
Yeah. So I got a question from someone. What is the difference between this problem and the last problem? Because they see it does actually kind of look like the same process you're going through. Because this one's the angle of the intersection, right?
Yeah, this one is finding the angle between 2 vectors. This is finding the acute angle of intersection between 2 planes. It ends up using dot product on both, but we are definitely doing 2 different things.
Because in the end, you're still using the normal vectors of the 2 planes, which is intersect each other. Yeah, that makes sense.
Would you like me to make one of the problems more difficult? I know I've got 2 dot problems, dot product problems on
I
here.
did.
I just want to know how to distinguish.
Yeah. He was just making sure that there wasn't like something weird going on. Because they kind of look the same. It's using the same process, but just in a different way.
That's the
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Any votes for make the test harder?
you will find problem number 7. The points in number 7 and the points in number 10 here are the same. So I can just copy the vectors over from the previous problem.
You know, that's
And then you're
assuming,
just
of
doing a
course-
cross product right there.
Yeah.
And dotting it. I think I better do the line first. That's the longer one, the harder one to do. So let's do the line, number 9 first.
But I
But I
guess that's
wanted to
also doing that copying from the previous one. That's also assuming that you do it right the first time.
Yeah, I'm making some assumptions. Of course, if you copy it from the previous problem and you think you might have made a mistake, say I used the problem from something or use the numbers from something else. That way, it's telling me where you got it from. That way I don't mark you wrong for the same thing twice. Number 9, find the point of intersection. The points where they intersect is where X are the same, Y's are the same, Z's are the same. So I'm going to call these T's in this problem A's and these T's B's just for doing my system of equations. I'm going to set my X's equal to each other. I've got 5 plus 2A equals -7 minus 2B. I'll do my Y's. I've got -2 plus A equals 8 plus B. And I'm using those because even though Z has 7 in it, I'm not going to make the assumption that the teacher's this nice on the test. It makes it easy. Because you'd be sorely mistaken if you did that. So I'm going to add 2. I think this problem is the easiest one to solve for real quick. And I will make that sub. I've got 2B plus 25 equals -7 minus 2B. I'll add 2B to both sides to clear that out, and I'll move the 25 over. So I get 4B equals -32. So B equals -8, which means A equals 2. So I need to find the point. I'll just make sure I get the same point by plugging in A and B. When I plug in A equals 2, A points to 5 plus 2 times 2, -2 plus 2, and 7. So that is 907. And the line from the origin for B is pointing to, I plug in -8, I've got -7 minus 2 times -8 is plus 16. And then I've got 8 plus -8, and then I've got 63 plus 7 times -8. -7 plus 16 is 9. 8 plus -8 is 0. And 63 plus -56 is 7. I got the same point. That must be where they intersect. See if I can get this done in a minute. Two plus 16. -16 minus 20. -32 plus 5. I'm getting, what do I get? 18. -36, but a plus is 30.
I'll be holding my IRs tomorrow from 8:30 to 9:30 in the GeoCut 13 and 12 to 2 in the current 712B. I will also be holding SIRs on Monday from 12 to 2 on Zoom.
And you don't have a room yet?
I haven't set it up yet. I'll be setting it up, but it should be set up by end of tomorrow. You took the 9, you probably took the 9 out as a common denominator. Factor.
Yeah, I took out
Because
the
it-
9, just to make the multiplication easy. I still have it in the dot product, it's still there.
Plugged in the wrong, I plugged in the wrong T. That was good, that's why I didn't get the wrong answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now, yeah.
Alright. I think so. Like, do we know? It's a cause problem. Probably going into the Sunday things,
So.
if I remember.
So I just need to find a part.
Damn.
The 0. I don't need to actually do that.
Oh, find the angle.
That makes sense. Like.
And is that the way you confirm that your cross product is right? By doing
Yeah.
a dot?
The dot product has to equal 0 for them to be orthogonal.
All right, yes, thank you.
That's any time.
Have a good one.
You too.
Yeah. Yeah, if you, it's good, it could be good practice to show that whether it's 0 or not, if you show that they're actually working. If you want to do that, but that's really on you if you want to show that.
And another
Unless the
thing,
problem states it.
another thing is, if there's a homework question before. If there's a 2-line finding the parallel, I can just find their vector of it. and
Thank you so
find
much,
their-
Mr. Jones. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Uh-huh. I'll see you guys
Figure out-
over the weekend or on Tuesday.
their
Yep. See you on the weekend. Later.
I can just know if it's a parallel or I have to find the angle.
Wait, so I'm sorry, repeat that. I did, there's some noise over you. Something about,
So
You have to.
Let's just say 1, 0, 4, and 2, 0, 8. Do I need to just say, okay, this 1 that's parallel?
Oh, you
When
want
the parallel is harder, or I have to find an angle equal to.
Oh, so you're asking whether you have to prove that they're parallel or not?
1 and negative 1, so they're parallel.
Oh,
Which way is proving?
Oh, which one's proving whether it's parallel or not?
Yeah, I can just say that. That's parallel.
Yes.
Or I have to state, okay, this the cosine of their angle, either 0 degree or they're 180 to make it parallel.
I think they'll both prove that they're parallel.
Yeah, but this is more work.
Yeah,
This is the less. I
okay.
can just like, okay, write down this parallel.